Hello everyone, welcome to the Study Hacks Institute of GIS and Remote Sensing. Today is our third number of class on machine learning or standard deviation. Today mainly I will try to discuss about that how it will be work and how you can easily calculate the standard deviation using the Python. So first of all I will try to discuss about the basic theory part of standard deviation, mainly what is the standard deviation and how it will be work. Then we also try to show you that the practical example on standard deviation and calculate the standard deviation using Python. First of all, what is standard deviation? So standard deviation is a number that describe how spread out values are. When you get the low standard deviation, it means that most of the numbers are close to the mean values. And when you can get the standard deviation is the high value, it means that the values are spread out over a wider range. And standard deviation is often represented by the symbol of sigma. So basically, this is the standard deviation theory part. So standard deviation, it is a number that describe how spread out the values are. Mainly, when you can get the lowest standard deviation, it means that the most of the numbers are close to the mean value or average value, and high standard deviation means that values are spread out over a wider range, and standard deviation is often represented by the symbol sigma. So now I try to show you that how you can easily calculate the standard deviation using Python. So for that, if you want, you can use here the Google Collaboratory, or if you want, you can also use here the Jupyter Notebook. So in this time, I simply open my Jupyter Notebook. So for that, I simply open the Anaconda prompt. Simply search at the Anaconda prompt. So here I already installed the Anaconda prompt. Just open this Anaconda prompt. And then I simply select my folder directory. So I want to go to the desktop, and this desktop I want to simply select my folder. Okay, so this is my folder name, and now in this folder I want to open the Jupyter notebook. So just I simply open the Jupyter notebook and press enter. So now in my desktop, it's open a new Jupyter notebook file in my browser. You can see it opened. Okay. After that, here you can see all of the file. I want to create the folder in here. So simply click on here. So I go to the practice code. Okay. And now I want to create a Python. So you can see click the Python 3. It created. Okay, so this is my code editor, Jupyter Notebook code editor. In this time, I use this code editor and try to show you that how you can easily calculate the standard deviation. So first of all, I can simply rename this notebook name. I simply put this notebook name as a third class. And we already take the first and second class. If you don't watch this class, then simply go to our playlist and then check. So I put the third number of class in here. And every class, I also send you the practice code for your practice in our WhatsApp group as well as also Telegram group so that you can also practice. Okay. So in this time, I want to create the calculated standard deviation using Python package. So mainly this NumPy has a standard deviation method to find the standard deviation. So first of all, I need to import the NumPy package. So import NumPy. Okay, I import the numpy package and click to the run. So now I can see it will be okay. There is no problem. It means that now numpy module is successfully imported in my code editor. In this time, I need a data set. Which data set I want to calculate it, the standard deviation. Okay, so in this time, suppose I have some data set look like this from distance. Okay, I create a data set from distance. Here I include all of the distance such as 86 kilometer, then 87 kilometer, then 85 kilometer, then I also put the 86 kilometer also, then also put here the 84 kilometer, then 87 kilometer, 88 kilometer. Okay, and you can also put there that suppose 82 kilometer. Okay, so I have the some distance data set. In this time, I want to create the standard deviation from this data set. So I click to the run. So now this data set is selected in here. So in this time, I just calculated the standard deviation and then check what is the value for the standard deviation. And after showing the value, what we can say about the data. Okay. So in this time, I already imported the NumPy package and also imported my data set in here. So now I just take a variable, suppose X. In this variable, I want to store it all of the things for the standard deviation. I simply call the package of NumPy. From the NumPy, I use here the std module. This std method to find the standard deviation. In this time, I want to find the standard deviation from this data set. And this data set is already stored in a variable distance. Simply copy the variable name and paste here. And finally, when I print the X, then I can get the standard deviation result. Just click to the run. So now you can see here I can get the standard deviation is that 1.7. Now this meaning that most of the values are within the range of 1.7 from the mean value, which is if you want, you can also calculate the mean value, then you can easily get the mean. Suppose I also calculate the mean value, so I simply use the another value y and then put the mean value such as I simply call the numpy and use the mean and simply call the dataset distance and also print this y and click to the run. So now we can get the 85.62. So now it means that that most of the values are within the range of 1.7 from the average value. So if you want to just simply subtract the two suppose 80.6 subtract with 85.6.25, then we can get the value within the range. Suppose 87 subtract with this mean value, we can get this range. So it means that most of the values are within the range of 1.7 from the mean value, which is 85.625. Okay, so now we can get the standard deviation. It means that now this value is their distance is very closer, not very wider. Okay, so in this time I can get the value is low. It means that low standard deviation means that most of the numbers are close to their mean value. Okay, so now we also try to check the another example, such as I have another distance data set, such as I put here the suppose distance 1, and in this time I simply put the another data set such as 32, then 138, 88, 28, such as 59, 77, 98. Okay, in this time from this data set I also need to calculate it the standard deviation. The same process, I take a variable suppose s. In this variable I simply call the numpy package In this package, I set the std module and then simply call this dataset is list1 and paste here. And then finally, I just print, I simply print that is and click to the run. Now you can say I can get the standard deviation at 37 points like this. Okay. In this time, and when you want to calculate it, the average result such as of this, so simply put the numpy and call the mean. In this mean, I simply call the distance one, this data set, and then simply print the A and click to the run. It means that you can see the most of the values are within the range of 37.79 from the mean value, which is 77.42. Okay, so now we can say that higher standard deviation indicate the values that is spread out over a wider range. And now when you want to see the low standard deviation, it means that all of the values are close to the mean result or average result. Okay, so in this time, I just try to discuss about that standard deviation and how it will be worked. So mainly standard deviation is a number that describe how spread out the values are. Low standard deviation means that most of the numbers are close to the average value, and high standard deviation means that the values are spread out over a wider range. Okay, and I also try to show you the practical example. And if you want to get this practice code in our WhatsApp group, also get the on our Telegram group. Okay, and if you don't watch our previous video lecture, such as you can see the what is machine learning, how we can easily calculate mean, median, mode. Okay, so I also put the playlist link in the video description so that you can also try to complete the sequentially watching this all of the recorded video class and then move to this third class. Then I hope you can easily understand. Okay, so today is no more. So have a good day and stay safe, stay happy. Thank you for watching this.